Today's speaker is myself, right? And I'll be speaking about what you saw, how to monetize your writing, how to monetize your, those stories that you have in mind. There are a lot of people who have a lot of beautiful stories, but somehow they don't get a chance to monetize those stories. Or how do you monetize your writing? I have a whole 15 proven ways, but I know time is not on our side. If you have a question, you just type in the comment section. If you have an input on what you've tried and tested and it's working, you also put it in the comment section. Okay, so but introduction. If you love writing books, blogs, or articles, turning your passion into income is possible. Most people think you just write and just give things for free. But it's very, very important to see all the effort that you put in those beautiful stories that you have. How can you make your money? So to start us off, which are the challenges that you've been experiencing in monetizing anything that you write? Or have you ever even written something, or is it that you've been thinking about writing? Let's have a conversation in the chat box. When it comes to monetizing your writing, what challenges have you been experiencing? Some people say, I have always thought about writing, but I never write because I don't know how to make money with it. Other people say they have written, they even have a book, they haven't sold enough books. Other people say, I want to actually be an author, but I'm wondering, will it ever sell? What challenges are you facing? If you could type in the comment section. Or even what thoughts are you having about where writing is concerned? You can also open your mic. I know we are not very many today. You can open your mic. What are your thoughts when it comes to writing? No comment at all. We are here to learn, and learn. Yeah? Is it? Okay, let's move on. So let's look at some of the challenges. There are quite a number, but I've just picked just a few. The first one, there are many millions of books that exist. That is low visibility, yeah? Low visibility. You have written a book, but you're not known that you're even an author. Even your neighbor, your relatives, they don't know you're even an author, right? Let's see. Gladys is saying, for me, I have so many essays, but have had the courage to put them out. You haven't had the courage to put them out, I guess. And Jerry is saying, is writing an ebook better than a physical one? Wow, that's a good question. I think that's a question I want to discuss in depth as we go along. Why an ebook and why a physical book? Okay. Susan is saying, I have been told I write well, wondering how to monetize that. What do I write? I'm a coach and very passionate about people. But now what? Haha. Perfect, perfect, perfect. As we go along, we'll pick some of these points. Susan is asking, she's a coach, but what is this she needs to write about? And Jerry is asking about, is an ebook better than a physical one? Let me tell you something. The writings that you do, whether it's a blog, whether it's an ebook, whether it's a physical book, has its place. It's just that you need to position it in its place. But let's first talk about the challenges, then I'll come, because after these challenges, we are talking about the strategies. But these are pretty beautiful questions that have come through. Keep asking questions actually as we go along, because we need to discuss it as we continue. The other one is limited marketing budget, like paid ads, book tours, and all that. So people write books, but you have seen in Europe, in US, people doing book tours in different towns, in different cities. Have you ever seen that in our country, or the country you come from? If you're from Kenya or another country, have you ever seen that in Africa? Not much of that, because they say, those book tours require you to pay to people to mobilize the venue where you're going to do the signing and all that, right? Also, the PR campaigns can also be expensive. Those are some of the challenges that authors experience. The other one is a difficulty in building an audience, because when you write a book, not everybody will buy, and there are people seeing you, yes, but do you have enough audience? If you get 1,000 audience, maybe you'll sell 100 books, and that would be a good start. but how do you find and engage the potential readers? That's another question actually I would be asking you, but it's something we'll cover on the strategies as we go along today. Also, a lack of reviews and social proof. When somebody buys your book, do they just disappear with the book, or do you showcase that so and so has bought my book and it's a good read, so you can also buy? Or what do you do with that information? Once they read your book and they give you a review, they say, oh, I loved your book. What do you do with that information? Okay, we'll discuss all that later. Then ineffective book launch strategies. Some people don't even launch the book. And in fact, if you don't have a budget, it may not be important to launch the book, but you may need to ensure that it has enough audience and you're making money. But the best approach to do with books is that you should launch the book, and from there you should be able to create an audience around it. The launches, I have seen them in Kenya. I don't know whether, have you attended any launch of a book? Anybody who's ever attended, and how was it? You can open your mic or type in the comment section. Have you ever attended a launch, a book launch? And how was it? For me, I've attended quite a number, and the ones that I saw very successful, they had invited a key speaker during that evening. You know, there have been dinners. Actually, the ones I've attended were dinner, and the key speakers are very prominent authors, very prominent speakers, you know, motivational speakers. There's one I attended where PLO Lumumba and Wale Akiemi, those two people were there in that one particular event. And the launch was pretty well, you know, attended, right? So you can type in the comment section if you have ever attended any and how good it was. The other launches I've attended may not have had many people, but still created an audience. And another person who was telling me is that he is very active in his church. And at one point he spoke to the I think the leaders in the church, and at some point he sold 300 books in one of the, you know, I don't know whether it was a Sunday service or it was a meeting they had, but he was able to sell almost 300 books at one go. So depending on which groups you operate in, which teams you work with, where you're a member, you know, are you a member of a church? Are you a member of, you know, any other group, or even this global entrepreneurship network, or any other group? How many people in those groups? Yeah, in your neighborhood, in your family, right? Wherever you belong, or if you are going to college, in that school, if you're doing your master's, how many people know that you're even an author, right? So you just need to keep talking about it, and sometimes you request, like this person who requested, can I sell my book during this event? And he was able to sell the 300 books. The number 6 is is not leveraging on multiple sales channels, and I think that's what I was talking about. Some others rely only on personal sales, missing out on other platforms. Yes, other platforms include the online platforms, and like on 20th of April, on Sunday, we'll be having a Books and Choma Fest. It's a place where you can come and showcase your book and even sell other things, not just books. You can sell the other apparels you have, your jewelry, anything. And I'll be talking about it. The tables are not, or the tents are not very expensive. With as low as 5,700, you have a full day to sell your book and get a space in that particular exhibition. So just use as many avenues as possible to be able to sell. There's so many challenges. Unclear target audience. Sometimes if you write a book that is not targeted to anybody in particular, sometimes it can be difficult to sell. So for the coach who was asking, what do you write about? This is one of the answers. Who is your target client, and what do you want them to learn from you? Yeah, if let's say you're a wellness coach, the book should actually target, should be around wellness, because that's what you deal with, and should actually pick a topic that is very important to your clients. Maybe it's weight loss, that's what they want to do. So what are these approaches of weight loss? Maybe that's a book that should be writing, so that your clientele can come and learn how to lose weight in many different ways without stressing themselves. So the target audience is always very, very important. My book, which is From Employment to a Side Hustle to a Business Empire, targets who? Targets people in employment who want to start a business. And I always say, before you leave employment, at least 12 months before you leave employment, it's good we start having that conversation. What is this you'd like to do? Because most people, when they leave employment, they don't do what they were doing in employment is not what they do when they leave. But there's something that maybe they can sell. And that's what they want to, to do once they leave employment. So that's why I advise them to come out and start early. And that's why my target clients, that book is written to targeting them directly. You can go ahead and type any comment if you have gotten an answer. Is it Coach Susan? Is that a good answer? Oh, no, not Susan. It was Njeri. Oh no. Oh yeah, Susan. Coach Susan, you had asked that question. If you've gotten an answer. Yes, thanks. Okay, great, Susan. Now the other one is struggle with social media marketing. We all have smartphones, but what are we using our smartphones for? A lot of people are using smartphones to watch some crazy kana or whoever, funny things on social media, or just read about other people. Yet you have invested on that phone. Why don't you use it to market something? And maybe, as Jerry is saying, if you have an ebook, first of all, we call it a lead magnet in our coaching sessions. A lead magnet is something that attracts people to come to you once you share that book. But you don't just share it randomly. It's good to pick something because you're giving them something for free. What is it they're giving you for free? Usually I advise my clients, make sure that it picks their email address and one name at least, so that they can come into your email database and you're able to converse with them. You have given them a free book, they have given you their email address for free. And therefore, in future, when you're selling your wellness products, this question that Jerry had asked, then you're able to converse with them more often because you're using your email system. So the lead magnets are usually supposed to help you collect people's contacts so that you're able to have a conversation with them, and in future, they will be able to buy from you. The ebook is not just for free and just sending the PDF everywhere. Most people will not contact you. You need to ask for that email address early enough. All right? Ask for that email address early enough. In fact, if Jane Munene can post the link that helps her book, Dangerous Money. Her ebook is Dangerous Money, and it's a lead magnet. If you can post the link, people can now start seeing how you normally do it to get your clients. And maybe even the people in the audience can also read your book. Jane, you can go ahead and do that. Now, the other thing is, I talked about struggles with social media. So social media is very strategic. It's not random, and there's a way to approach it. The other item is about not investing in a professional book cover. Sometimes, sometimes people can skip your book because it's not attractive. But if you have a very good title, a very beautiful designed cover and everything, sometimes it gets people to buy. And even the title of the book, like the book I'm talking about right now is written by Dr. Jane Munene. It's called Dangerous Money. It's really attractive. And most people have actually signed up and gotten that ebook for free, and they're able to read, and they're able now to join Jane's webinars and her coaching sessions. So if Jane can post it there, you'll also be able to read. Have you ever even thought there is money that can be dangerous? We thought money was so good, but you'll understand why Jane calls that book that way. It's because of very many risks, and you'll read about it in that book. The other one is traditional media coverage is hard to secure. This difficulty getting media and press coverage. There are people who use influencers. There are people who use various media platforms to just showcase their work or speak their stories. In fact, you've seen all the people who've been newscasters on Citizen, on NTV. Eventually, they become quite prominent. Why? It's because that platform gave them a chance to showcase their talent. So the moment they leave, they're able to be picked by very many different corporates, and they're able to get very huge international jobs even because they use that platform to showcase their story. So if you get a chance, yeah, to be online, to be on air, or to even help in a certain way, do it to your level best. It could be just the platform that you needed to launch your business and to even sell your book. Always do that. And then overwhelming marketing responsibilities. Many authors juggle writing and marketing alone, leading to burnout. Yes, most authors actually are not marketers as such because they just have a lot of information. They write the book. I know somebody who's written quite a number of books. The sales are not really moving, but if you could actually be part of a certain team, like now the Global Entrepreneurship Network, if you become our member, we have various platforms and various ways of speaking with one another, meeting together once a month, and even attending various events, and we'll be able now to share the platforms to market the books or your writing. And also the lack of long-term marketing strategy. Authors often focus on short-term book launches but ignore long-term. So what do I mean by long-term? There are various ways you can also build. After the launch, then what? The launch, yes, you'll get those 300 books to go. But then what else after that? Because it's not only, you're not writing only for 300 people. You need to actually market it to a lot more people. So what are you taking away from today? You can type in the comment section, right? Before now we go to the strategies. These are just some of the 12 challenges I had put together, but I'm sure there are many other challenges that people experience to get their book out there. So what are the different ways that you've been using to market your book or to boost your sales? Either your book, your blog, or maybe you haven't done anything about it. Yeah? Any method you have used before? The other thing also I wanted to say is that nowadays we say a printed book is your business card. The usual business cards where we used to print a small business card to share, it's still working, but a book is more lasting because that small business card, because people have so much information online, wherever, somehow it gets lost, and maybe it gets lost even before somebody takes, writes down your email address. But what if you had a book? The book, somebody will never throw it away. They can only give it to somebody else to read who can benefit from it. And for sure, a book being a printed book being your business card, it means that you're being seen as an authority in your area. Yeah, you are an authority in your area because you have put your thoughts, your mind into a printed book, and you're able to walk into very, major exhibitions, conferences as an author. It gives you, it kind of pushes your brand to a higher level as an author. People who haven't authored sometimes, see the authors. I don't know how you feel about when you meet an author. You feel like this person has a lot of content. It's somebody you can learn from. The brand is a little higher. Yeah. Jerry is saying what I'm taking away is get your potential customers' email addresses and keep communicating. Yes, correct. Because there's something else we teach in our training, that people buy from people they know, they like, they trust. Those are 3 steps that you move through. You get to know somebody the first time you meet them. They tell you their name, they tell you what they do, but that's about it. That person may not buy immediately. But over time, they may start liking you because they like your writing, they like your videos, they like your teaching, they like, or your presentations. If they meet you in a conference, you're the one in front, they're presenting, they start liking you. And therefore, for them to start liking you, you need to be seen in not less than 7 times in different podiums, in different places, both online, in conferences, in all that. And that is why you pick that email, right? Jerry, that is why you pick that email, so that you are able to keep inviting this person to the 7-10 times to the different forums that you exist in and you're in. Yeah. And then, and when they start liking you, they can buy that book from you, they can buy your products from you. And if they enjoy the book, they enjoy your product, maybe you are selling some, shea butter, like Jerry sells shea butter, right? If you're able to sell that, and they like it, now they'll start trusting you. Next time you find one of your customers who has used your shea butter is now a distributor for your shea butter, because they now trust you, they want to do business with you. So always remember there are these 3 steps that you want to take everybody you meet through. You don't just stop at knowing. We all stop at knowing. You get to know each other in a conference, you exchange business cards, and that's it. You never get to meet again. Next time you meet new people again, you exchange business cards, they go. How many business cards will you distribute and never follow up? Yeah, the only way you can follow up is either you plan a coffee date, or you pick that email address and start now letting them know that now you have this coming up. You invite them to a certain event. That's the only way. Pauline Wamboy is saying that I help my clients find the best car deals locally and through importation. I also help people sell their cars. For more information, yeah, there's a phone number there Pauline has given you. Yes, so Pauline now is now starting to get to know you by sending her details there. And all of you who are online, please just post your email address and your contact so that you can yeah, so that you can contact, yeah, you can be contacted. Susan Shaga is saying, I have always thought I need to build my personal brand first to attract readership, but I'm realizing it's a chicken and egg situation. Perfect. When you're building your brand, it starts from where you are and goes step by step. And your brand is built based on all the things that you do. Yeah, you're a trainer, you are selling your book, you're speaking at a conference, so people are able to describe you in a certain way. Okay. And you keep building as you go along, and you keep refining it, you keep reshaping it, because as people give you feedback is when you keep shaping it to the what you want, because that feedback also is very, very important. It helps us refine our brand as you go along, and that is why you need to keep talking. You need to even have webinars like this. You just had Jane saying Friday she's having a webinar, and every Friday Jane usually has webinars. Why? She wants to build and nurture her clientele in a certain way, right? So what are these 15 ways to sell your book or even boost your sales? Let's start with these 3. The first one is creating a high converting website. It's important, if you have a book, to have a book website on its own, sitting on its own. It could also be a page on your current website. Either a page on your current website, or it sits on its own, right? My book, you can find it on lucymunga.com/book. Yeah, that's where you can find my book. But you can also text me and I'll be able to respond to you. So have a dedicated landing page or an author website with a clear call to action. Never leave people without knowing what to do next. Okay, they've seen the book, so what? Okay, they've bought your book, then, yeah, always have a specific call to action and a direct purchase link. The other one is building an email list, is what we've been talking about, so that you can keep having conversations. Those who bought the book, you can also quote a few things here and there, and keep urging them, encourage them to read, and you're able now to achieve your goal. Some of them now will come for your mentorship. Some of them will now buy your products, because if the book is talking about your products, and the others, if it's, let's say, wellness, they will understand more about wellness, for instance. Yeah, run social media campaigns, promote your book on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, share snippets behind the scenes, testimonials, engage with your audience consistently. we talked about the minimum of 7. If you go to up to 15 and above, you get 80% of the people that you know purchasing from you. So you need to keep marketing, and majority will buy maybe the 10th or the 15th iteration of seeing you, because they're seeing your produce, you have value, you're adding value to them. The other one is use the book launch. Yeah, book launch, yes, you need some money. You need to recruit a group early enough or readers to review the book, promote the book before the launch, and then have some reviews and then launch the book. So that one you just need to book a place, but it's not expensive. Why? If you're launching a book and it's a dinner you're having, just make sure that people pay enough to pay for the dinner, and also you're able to give them a book, just cost it properly so that both the dinner and the book are covered in the cost of launching. So it's not that you need to borrow money from a bank to launch the book. You just need to do your costing properly. Get some book reviews and endorsements. Encourage readers to leave reviews on your website or on social media posts. Positive reviews increase trust and sales. Yes, but even the negative ones, don't delete them. Let them just stay there. But normally, actually, for books, I've never seen any negative. Usually, the negative comments come from the things that we post online. The number 6 is run paid ads on Facebook, on Google. You can do that to actually boost your sales. The other one is offer some limited time discounts. Yeah, use promotions, countdowns on deals. Yeah, free book giveaways. Yeah, and or some discounts of some sort, but it all needs to be targeted. For example, if you're launching a book, you can say at the launch you sell the book at 500 bob, but after the launch it will be 1,000, something like that, so that people can come. The other one, or maybe the book will go with the dinner. Once you buy the ticket for dinner, it comes with the book, so that means it sells. Sell on multiple platforms, of course. There are people who are always on social media. Those ones will get it there. There are people who normally like physical, to see them on a stand. They will come to an exhibition. I talked about the exhibitions that we are having on the 20th of April. There are many book sellers that will come and sell their books there. And on 20th of April, the exhibition is at GMC Place. GMC Place is in Kitengela, and that is where you can yes, you can actually come with your products, your services, and you can actually sell them. Yeah, you just book a stand. I said the minimum you can pay is 5,700 for the whole day, and you'll be able to market. Usually that place, the GMC place, is it's a family place, and being a Sunday, you'll find that we'll get more than 2,000 on a normal day. There's usually 150 plus on a normal Sunday or normal Saturday. 150 families, and so being an Easter Sunday, you'll definitely get more than 2,000 visitors to come and read your book. And we'll have competitions, we'll have fun. Children will read books, they'll be rewarded with a game or face painting. So it's a family day, and there's a lot happening in there. Leverage on influencers and bloggers for marketing. Some of them are pretty pricey, but some of them can actually give you some audience. You just go online and see who is this who has a good following and can actually support you in just mentioning your book as they do whatever they are doing. Yeah, they can talk about your book, and also host webinars like this one that we're having here, and have a live Q&A where people come in and ask questions. Just make sure that if you have a live webinar like this one, you can also now live stream it on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, right? The only thing, well, we are not doing today is that we are not live streaming it, but it's possible to live stream on all those platforms. All right, any questions? You can just ask questions. The last part is on the last 5. Speak at events and conferences. Put up your hand when you see a conference coming up that relates. Let's say your book is on wellness, and you have seen an event coming up on wellness. Put up your hand as a speaker, even if you have to speak for free, just to be able to showcase your book, right? Just position yourself as an expert by speaking at industry events. Sell your books directly on the venue. Yeah, so you may have a stand on that venue, and at the same time, you're a speaker. The other one is a partner with book clubs and libraries. Yes, I have a few friends who have partnered with the Macmillan, Nuria bookstore. Yeah, my book is also is in a Nuria bookstore. You can get it there. So just partner with all those, and you'll be able to find to sell your book. In fact, when there was a book exhibition at the Sarit last year, my book was actually taken there through Nuria for free. Actually, Nuria had paid there the table for the table. Yeah. So pitch your book to book clubs, libraries, and local reading groups. Offer to join discussions or provide signed copies. Then the other one is create an audio version of the book. Expand your audience by turning your book into audio using platforms like Audible, or even Apple has, even is it Spotify has, the audio version. Try and get there to make more leaders to listen to your book. The other one is sell bulk copies to organizations at a discount. Yeah, if you get an organization that maybe schools, colleges, you can actually speak with them and give them a whole bulk discount for them to purchase your book. So I'm saying pitch your book to companies, schools, and non-profits as a resource for their employees, students, or members. And finally, exhibitions and book fairs. I talked about the Books and Choma Fest, which is an event that's coming up very soon. And this is the one I'm talking about. Right, so that is all about us and about the conversation today. Any questions, comments, you can open your mic or you comment in the comment section. Otherwise, you're welcome to join the Global Entrepreneurship Network so that you can gain more and meet more people. Any comments again? All right, so I want to bring this to a close. It's been a wonderful morning. Thank you so much for listening, for contributing, for sharing. Join the WhatsApp group. It's there in the comment. And let's continue with this conversation. The next session will be next week on Tuesday. See you then.